And those who have connected from a YouTube live, if my audio video is clear, you can write clear in a chat box. If my audio video is clear, just write clear in a chat box. If the people those are connected from a Zoom, if my audio video is clear, just write clear in a chat box. Right? You are supposed to write clear in a chat box if it is my audio video is clear. Likho na. Right? Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Few people are saying, sir, we can hear you out. Right? Perfectly fine. आज ऐसी ऐसे साइड मिलेंगे आपको बिग फोर के विच यू हैव नेवर थॉट ऑफ के बिग फोर में ये सर्विसेज भी अवेलेबल है, राइट? तो इनफैक्ट आई वाज टॉकिंग टू लॉट ऑफ पार्टनर्स एंड पीपल आउट एंड आई केम टू नो दैट दिस आर द हिडन सर्विसेज व्हिच पीपल शुड बी अवेयर ऑफ, right? And I'll give you a very detailed idea about the processes, about the things, right, which you should be aware of. Just give me a second. Perfectly fine. Okay. Great. The people from YouTube, I am looking for your confirmation. After that is done, we'll start the session. Those who have connected from a Zoom, यार please videos on कर दो यार, हमें भी देखना है एक चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट के चेहरे की स्माइल यार, राइट? एक चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट की चेहरे की स्माइल हम भी जरा देखें यार, हम भी जरा देखें चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट की एक चेहरे की स्माइल। काफी सारे हमारे पुराने दोस्त भाई कनेक्टेड हैं, काफी सारे नए लोग कनेक्टेड हैं। जो नए कनेक्टेड है, वेलकम फॉर द सेशन, राइट? तो जस्ट वांटेड टू चेक हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू आर कनेक्टिंग फॉर अ फर्स्ट टाइम, just write first in a chat box. How many of you connecting for a second time, just write second in a chat box. And how many of you are a regular user, you can write regular in a chat box. Regular user in को मतलब मिलते रहते हो every day. Okay, got it. Few are first time, few are second time, few are third time, few are regular user. अच्छा, few are GI students. Okay, great. First time, second time, first time. Okay, got it. I'm waiting for the people, those who are on YouTube. लिखो ना, कोई तो लिख दो कुछ। अच्छा, लिख दिए, आ गया, गॉट इट। यस, फर्स्ट टाइम, सेकंड टाइम, रेगुलर यूजर, फर्स्ट टाइम, सेकंड टाइम, रेगुलर। ओके, ग्रेट। So welcome everyone for today's session. First of all, congratulations to everyone those who have cleared their exams. And in fact, एक जो खुशी होता है to become a chartered accountant is great, right? एक दुनिया बदल जाती है, वो बोलते हैं ना, वक्त बदल गए, अरमान बदल गए, जज्बात बदल गए, right? So something sort of you must have been feeling, and everyone must be giving you a hell lot of respect. That is, of course, a part of becoming a chartered accountant. But that also comes with a lot of thing which I called as कि sir, जिस दिन सीए बना और लिंक्डइन का जो पोस्ट लिखा ना, उसके बाद जो हुआ मुझे कुछ समझ में नहीं आया, right? Many of you must have got the offers from lot of big fours, right? How many of you got offers from big fours? Just write yes in a chat box, or you can mention the name of a big four in a chat box. We'll be happy to read. How many of you got an offer from a big four? Just write the name of a big four. We'll be happy to read this out. Okay. I just wanted to see the count. Yes sir, मेरे को तो KPMG बुलाया, sir मेरे को Deloitte बुलाया, yes sir मुझे EY बुलाया, sir मुझे PwC बुलाया, right? Now very important, right? We'll be discussing everything in detail कि भाई कौन सा Big Four में क्या है, which all services they offer, what is the interview procedure, what is the package they might be offering you, and how to crack all these interviews. Those who haven't got the offers, right? Don't worry, we'll help you out with the India's largest program called as a SAMBHAV, right? SAMBHAV hai. Launch our India's largest placement program for our CA students out. So that is going to be helping you out. Got it. Now, before I start in, just also wanted to check how they offer, right? Everything I'll be covering in this session. Okay. Yes, we are also live on YouTube. The session is also available on YouTube. Now, before I wanted to start the session, just wanted to check any biasness which people are carrying. Sir, nahi, sir, I always want to join Deloitte. Or any favorite firm which you feel like you can just write the name of the favorite firm which you are there. If you don't have a favorite and if you feel like all the firms are okay with me, I am okay with all the big fours. If you're okay with all the big fours, just write okay. Or if you have a particular biasness ki nahi sir, only this firm I wanted to join, then you are supposed to mention the name of the firm. Okay. कोई बोले सर पैसा दिलवा दो, बात खत्म, कोई भी बिग फोर है मुझे उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता है। चांदनी बोल रही है पैसा ही चाहिए सर, बाकी सब तो ठीक है, बाकी सब है मेरे पास। अच्छा, Big Four, Big Six, right? That is something which I'm referring to. Okay, got it. Great. Now, again, a ground rule for the session. Since whenever you're connecting with for my session, you will always need a pen, paper, and diary. Oh my God, मतलब फिर से आज लिखवाओगे बहुत सारा? लिखवाएंगे नहीं, आपको thought process को clarity दे देंगे, right? That how this is working out, and that is something which is very, very important. ठीक है? So we are going to be discussing in very detail, very detail, which is going to be giving you a hell lot of clarity कि भाई Big Four में this all areas are available, this all streams are available, and this is a process how I'm going to be following if I wanted to get into this companies out. But this will also have some of the interview related question tips to you guys that how you can prepare the same. Okay, great. Now let's start with this session. I have prepared a mind note for the same, right? And mind note, you know that my mind notes are always great, which always helps you out to clear all the thought process. Now, what all things we are going to be covering? First, we'll be talking about the firm. Second, we'll be talking about the locations which majorly they are present. Then we'll be talking about benefits of Big Four. Oh my God, right? Do not think I'm an agent of a Big Four. Although I was a person who was working with one of the Big Four in Pune office. So I worked with E&Y. So I've completed my articleship from there, and also I've worked post-articleship in E&Y. So what are the service departments? This is one of the major and most important discussion which we are going to be covering. And at the end, your favorite, my favorites, everyone's favorite. Sir, paisa kitna dega? Ye bata do. Right? I hope people are most excited to know the package, and that is why I've kept it at the last. अच्छी चीजें आखिरी में बता दो. It's useful, right? You stay till end, right? So that is something which we are going to be there. Yes, perfectly fine. Those who have connected, you can still share the link of the video so that your friends can also connect, and we can solve all the doubts on a live session itself. Okay, got it. Let's talk about from very basics. First, firms. Sir, what are the firms which are available for a Big Four? I think most of you are aware of. If you're not aware of, it's completely fine. I've divided the firms into two parts. One is an Indian firm and second is a global firm. Okay. Now, again, here comes the issue. Many of you know the short form of the firms. In one of the interview, what firm did was they asked the full form of the firm. Now, does anyone know the full form of KPMG? Oh my God. Everyone has heard a KPMG. Anyone can please? Or if I can put randomly unmute two, three people out. People are now changing or staring me at, oh my God, ye kahan se aa gaya? This was not part of a session. I didn't know this. What is KPMG? Anyone in the house knows the full form of KPMG? Achha. People are staring me like, ठीक है ठीक है इंटरव्यू क्वेश्चन है प्रोटेक्ट बता रहा हूं आई एम सेविंग योर जॉब राइट ओके right now what I've done is that I'll help you out with all those things, and that is the best part of joining the CMONG sessions, right? So you can see and note down the full form of KPMG, EY, Deloitte, and PwC, right? You should be aware of the full forms since you are applying as a chartered accountant. Next, coming to some of the global firms which are there, right? Swami has correctly mentioned. Great. Really happy to see this out. Next is some of the global firms which are there. I have again mentioned the full form of the same. EY GDS is known by the Global Delivery Services. KPMG KGS के नाम से जाना जाता है, which is KPMG Global Services. Deloitte USA, mostly it's going to be Deloitte US India. And PwC SDC is again Service Delivery Center. Now, one thing which you see is that delivery part is most of the time is common, or global part is common. That means mostly you're going to be working on some of the global clients. I'm just telling you the full form as of now because many times they ask you, are you aware of the full form of KPMG or are you aware of the full form of SDC? What does SDC means? People go there, but they didn't know कि भैया ऐसा कुछ होता भी है. ठीक है? So that is why I'm telling you out. This is not much important for our discussion. Most important is a service departments. Moving to the major locations which they are going to be present, right? Mostly they are going to be present in the tier 1 cities. Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, Kolkata, New Delhi, Gurugram, Noida. Again, you can consider all three as a one. ठीक है, मुझे अभी तक के कभी डिफरेंस समझ में नहीं आया, but still once I'll visit Delhi and New Delhi and Gurugram and Noida, I'll get to know the major difference. No offense with the people staying there. And Pune and Mumbai. These are some of the major locations which are there for which the companies hire the candidates out. Okay, so that is there. Other than this, a lot of Big Fours are going to be having their tier 2 centers as well. But I've just focused on the tier 1 cities where they're going to be hiring majorly. Okay, so these are the list of our tier 1 centers or cities where the Big Fours are going to be hiring. I'll keep on closing so that you can easily read this chart. Next, very important. What are the benefits of a Big Four? Oh my God, this was never told. Right now, what are the advantages of Big Fours? And since I worked in Big Four, I was a part of E&Y. I have spent my journey of 3 years in Big Four. So I can tell you these are the genuine benefits which has really helped me out to the place where I'm. Number one, it's a knowledge and experience of a domain. You will get a very detailed and experience of a domain. The time amendments comes or the time changes comes, you at a second you'll get a mail in E&Y officer. In fact, a lot of any Big Four, you get an instant mail from the partner or the in charge of that domain. This is the changes which is coming. Right, so instant knowledge sharing is going to be there. Point number one. Number two, the exposure which you're going to be getting is very good because the client size, the minimum turnover of the clients is going to be above the benchmark or more than what you have worked in your articleship. Number three is the networking, right? So networking is something where you're going to be meeting the best minds of India or good people out. So that is something which is going to be helping you out. Next, a lot of trainings programs are which all the Big Four conducts, and people enjoy this because free lunch is sponsored in the trainings most of the time. If they don't sponsor you, please do not stare at me, but most of the time they sponsor free lunch as well. Technologically, they are going to be updating you on this. Personality grooming, they are going to be having some of the sessions for which you need to complete some of the hours. A lot of fun activities they used to plan. A lot of parties are there, right? Monthly and quarterly, we used to have one party at our Big Four. That is something which was there. And also you have an offsite. Oh my God, that's cool, right? So you're going to be traveling to some places with the companies, right? So we went to Goa for an offsite with our Big Four when I was a part of it. So that is something which is cool. And it's like work harder, party harder. Okay, work harder, party harder. That is the concept. So that is there. And of course, you'll get a good brand name in your resume. The people those who are looking, sir, I want to have some of the good brand name in my resume, then the Big Four is a place. Okay, initially to start your journey with. Now coming to the most important question, right? What are the services which Big Four are going to be giving, or what are the areas where I'll be working on? ये चार्ट इतना बड़ा है कि आपके एक पेज में नहीं आएगा, तो आई वांट यू टू प्लीज राइट इट इन अ वेरी सिस्टमैटिक मैनर. सो दोज हैव कनेक्टेड नाउ, रिक्वेस्ट यू आल्सो टू यार वीडियो लाइक कर दो यार, शर्माने की कोई बात नहीं है यार, फटाफट लाइक कर दीजिए. नाउ लेट्स डिस्कस इट इन पार्ट्स. ठीक है, फर्स्ट इज द assurance services. Okay, first is the assurance services which Big Four is going to be offering. Now a lot of Big Four might have a different way of categorization, but I have tried to categorize based on whatever I have experienced with the people out, whatever I have placed my candidates or whatever I have been working into this industry. I have tried to summarize it in a best possible manner. There are chances that कि कुछ डेल्टा हो सकता है, कोई हेड किसी अंदर हेड में बैठा हो सकता है. Few people might say that internal audit को हम assurance में नहीं गिनते, उसको एक अलग से गिनते. That can be a part. It's completely fine. Now let's see one by one. Assurance services, which is divided into two as of now: statutory audit and risk advisory and business consulting. अगर आप risk advisory and business consulting देखोगे, again I'll cover this in detail, but let's start with the statutory audit. Now question comes is, what is statutory audit, right? Statutory audit is something which is required by the legal, and you're supposed to ensure that the audit report of the company is prepared. You're going to be auditing the financials and all this. Again, based on that, you will issue an audit report. Now यहाँ तक के समझ में आता है. This we have also done in our articleship. I don't have an issue, sir, on this. Sir, but statutory audit में भी division or departments होते हैं क्या? Do statutory audit also have a division and departments? The answer is yes. That means whenever you're going to be putting, or whenever you're getting into the statutory audit domain in any of the Big Fours, they divide it mainly into the three parts, which is the fourth part is different, which I've covered here. First is the TMT services. Second is the IISC services, and third is the FS services. The point to be noted, my guys, please, very important, many of you don't know this. Even I didn't know this when I was joining for my articleship, but I came to know because this is a part of induction which HR used to conduct. तो अगर आपको स्टैट्यूटरी ऑडिट में डाल रहे हैं, एंड इफ यू आर गोइंग फॉर अ स्टैट्यूटरी ऑडिट, एंड इफ यू फील लाइक सर आई वांट टू वर्क मोर टुवर्ड्स अ टेक्नोलॉजी साइड और टेलीकॉम सेक्टर साइड, you can ask them कि it would be great if you could put me on a TMT sector. Hello, right? Or you can ask them if you're more inclined towards you want to work towards infrastructure companies, you can ask them can you, it would be great if you could plot me for a IIC. Okay, IIC is infrastructure, industrial and customer goods, and FS is more related to your mutual fund house, NBFCs. Okay, if you are getting an opportunity to work in a statutory audit, you can bargain for this three, a point of negotiation which can be done for this three things. People are not aware of this. I'll request you to please note it down. There are three areas where you can ask your role depending on the type of industry you want to work. If you're going to be working in an FS sector, then only you will be involved towards the banking side और NBFC साइड और इंश्योरेंस साइड आप ज्यादा काम करोगे, मतलब क्लाइंट्स आपको वैसे मिलेंगे. इन शॉर्ट, if you're going to be working for a IIC side, you will be more inclined towards the infrastructure clients, customer sites and all this. ठीक है, I hope you have noted this down. Many of you, this must be new for you. How many of you feel this is new? I didn't know this before. How many of you feel this is new? Just write new in the chat box so that I can come to know. If you feel like कि हाँ यार कुछ तो नया सीख लिया, ये पता नहीं था मुझे, मैं एक HR को बोल सकता हूँ कि कौन से एरिया या कौन से सेक्टर में मेरे को काम करने मिलेगा. You can ask. I'll request you to write new if you are new to this, I'll be really happy to see this. At least I'm adding some new contribution to your life and knowledge. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Many of you are saying, sir, it's new. Okay, next. This is done. One of the area which is nowadays have been developing and which is a technology risk advisory services. Okay, which is known as a TRS. Okay, other big fours might name it in a different manner, but most of the big fours says is a TRS or IT team or something sort of. But what does that TRS means? Let's understand. Many of the companies' processes are going to be automated nowadays. How many of you agree this? Right? I think almost agree on this. आजकल पहले जैसा नहीं होता था. अगर मान लो, if earlier what used to happen, if someone wants to make a payment, what they do, they go to bank, right? They stand in a queue, right? And they used to give the right to fill the form, write the account number, get it signed from the accounts manager. After that is done, the payment was done, right? Now the process has been completely changed. What is supposed to be done? Say, for example, if Shivam Palan wants to make a payment to Flipkart, what he'll do, his team member is going to be making a invoices, or his team member is going to be making a input that this payment is supposed to be made. Shivam Palan is going to be approving that payment, and after the approval is done, the payment is going to be done to the Flipkart or whichever company they wants to make a payment, right? Now, all these things nowadays is going to be done by a system, right? Now, there comes the importance of doing a system audit. And there comes the importance of technology risk advisory services. So I need to ensure that whether my technology is working correctly or not. Say, for example, the payroll payment. And if a company made a payroll payment to the employees, right? Many a times what company does is they'll run a transaction, or they'll just make a trigger on a system, automatically the payroll is processed. But I also need to check that whether the system is automatically calculating the payroll in a correct manner or not. And that is why the risk, to ensure that the systems are working correctly, the technology risk side is going to be very growing in the future upcoming days. Okay, this is about the areas of a statutory audit. Now coming to the interview procedures. Sir, what all things I am supposed to prepare if I'm going for an interview in any of the big fours? Especially for the statutory audit, I want you to be noted down if possible. You should have a good knowledge of Indias. You should have a good knowledge of IFC. You should have an understanding of audit assertions, basic vouching and verification, standards on auditing, Indias, IFC, understanding of audit assertions. I think I've repeated this. I think, So this is something which you should be aware of. Okay. Some of the basic knowledge which you are aware of. And also with this, I'll put a CARO. Okay. If you're going to be applying for CARO 2020 versus 2016. Okay, so this is something which you're supposed to prepare. Next, also very important question which Big Four is going to be asking: why you want to join PwC, or why you want to join KPMG, or why you want to join Deloitte, or why you want to join EY? ऐसा क्या दिख गया आपको कि आपको हमारी कंपनी ज्वाइन करना है? Why is something which you should be always prepared for, right? So this is something very brief about the statutory audit. I hope you have noted it down, or you can take a SS if you want. SS screenshot, right? You can take a screenshot of the same. Let's move to the second area of the discussion, which is a risk advisory and business consulting. I hope this is clear to all of you. If it is clear, just write clear in a chat box, please. If it is clear, yes. Whether CISA comes under TRS, yes. If you are into a TRS and if you do a CISA, that is also going to be adding as an additional advantage. And generally, companies also sponsor. If you are a part of TRS team, company might sponsor you for a CISA also. Might. I'm not saying for sure, but they might sponsor you out. I'm waiting for the confirmation from the people on YouTube, right? If it is clear, you're supposed to write a clear. I'll repeat and summarize the entire discussion. Start audit, 3 areas majorly you'll be able to find: TMT, IIC, and FS. If you're giving an interview, you're supposed to prepare all this. Once you're cleared an interview out, you can also ask which sector I'll be working into, right? क्या पता आपको banking में नहीं जाना और stat audit में bank audit दे दिए तो आपको hello. See, we should be aware of, and that is something which you're going to be taking a confirmation from HR whenever you're going to be shortlisted. After that is done, you should be also aware of why you're joining the Big Four, or which is something the interview is going to be asking you, why this Big Four, or why Deloitte, or why KPMG, why EY, why PwC. That is something about the statutory audit in short. Moving to the next service line, which is related to risk advisory. Yes, second part, risk advisory. Very important. People must not be aware of a lot of things, but yes, let's see one by one. Risk advisory is a bigger term. Uske andar comes a internal audit and a forensics part. ठीक है, I just forget to mention the forensics also. बस risk advisory और business consulting, many of the companies called by the consulting. ठीक है, do not get confused with the management consulting. It's a business consulting which is related to your internal audit, SOX, SOP formulation or other solutions. Now many people only knows the stat and internet, but there are other functions as well which can be part of. Let's start with the internal audit. What is internal audit? Again divided into parts. Understanding the process को समझो, कंट्रोल गैप्स ढूंढो, मॉनिटरी टर्म्स में कितना नुकसान होगा वो देखो, प्रोसेस को कैसे इंप्रूव कर सकते हैं वो देखो, मैनेजमेंट का व्यू लो उस पे, और ऑडिट रिपोर्ट बनाओ और फॉलो अप लो. वेरी सिंपल ट्रांजेक्शन आई विच आई गिव इन लॉट ऑफ माय सेशंस. अ कस्टमर हैज ऑर्डर्ड अ सीओडी ऑर्डर फ्रॉम अ फ्लिपकार्ट, राइट? दिस इज अ ऑर्डर विच इज प्लेस्ड बाय कस्टमर. मेरे को देखना है कि उसकी प्रोसेस कैसी है, कंट्रोल गैप क्या है, क्या नुकसान हो सकता है, उसमें कैसे इंप्रूव कर सकता हूं, what all commits I am supposed to take from management, and I need to follow up if the proper action is not taken. Now, what all questions I'll be asked if I am a part of this? Just ignore some of the spellings which are there. Now, you are going to be asked some of the question related to risk prevention, somewhat related to the processes which comes to P2P, O2C, R2R, payroll, and C2C. What does that mean? Procure to pay. P2P means procure to pay. O2C is order to cash. R2R is revenue to receipt. Payroll is your HR function. And C2C is cash to cash. Let me explain you in a very short. Procure to pay means the time you procure the goods, you also need to make a payment for the goods which you procure. कोई फ्री में तो आपको goods नहीं देगा. कोई है जो फ्री में goods sell करता है? नहीं ना, right? So if you're procuring a goods, you need to make a payment. So you need to ensure that are you aware of the procure to pay processes. Okay, तो processes के बारे में थोड़ा सा ज्यादा आपको पूछा जाएगा. Since you are responsible for what? Process improvement, right? That is why we are supposed to prepare for our processes. Second is R2R, है ना, और O2C, order to cash, right? तो जब से आपको कोई ऑर्डर आया तब से लेके कितना टाइम लगा कस्टमर को पैसे देने में, ऑर्डर टू कैश. ठीक है, तो दिस आर द प्रोसेसेस व्हिच यू शुड बी अवेयर ऑफ व्हेन यू आर गोइंग फॉर द इंटरव्यू. नेक्स्ट, ऑल्सो शुड बी अवेयर ऑफ योर रेवेन्यू रिकॉग्निशन साइड, हाउ टू रिकॉग्नाइज अ रेवेन्यू. ICFR के बारे में यू शुड हैव अ गुड नॉलेज. How to take a samples out of the total population. Okay, sampling कैसे करना, that is something which you are supposed to read. TOD, right, test of detail. TOE, and somewhat related to your labor laws. Okay, this is something which is expected mostly if you're targeting for an internal audit. More inclines towards the processes. Okay, next, I hope this is clear. If you want to again take a screenshot, you can take a screenshot of the same. If it is clear, I'll just request you to write a clear in a chat box. If it is clear, just write clear in a chat box so that I can move ahead. If it is clear, just write clear in a chat box so that I can move ahead. I'm waiting for a confirmation for everyone. More than 250 people have connected. I think 300 people have connected for this session. Really good to see this. अरे लिखो ना, clear है तो लिख दो clear. I'll be summarizing the entire discussion at the end. Don't worry. Let us understand. Let's take a bird's eye view. कि क्या क्या होता है, what all roles are available. Okay. Few people are very shy. अरे देखो, अब सीए बन गए हो भाई, अब तो एटीट्यूड आ जाना चाहिए अपने अंदर, राइट? अब तो भाई एकदम खुशी से घूमो, सामने वाला बोले कि देखो मैं भी चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट हूँ, है ना? तो दैट इज समथिंग व्हिच यू शुड बी देयर. और अगर किसी ने बोला वीडियो चालू करना, तो फट से चेहरा दिखाने का, देखो मैं भी सीए, देखो ऐसा दिखता हूँ मैं. ठीक है, तो दैट इज समथिंग व्हिच यू शुड डू. इनडायरेक्टली आई एम सेइंग प्लीज टर्न ऑन द वीडियोस इफ पॉसिबल. गॉट इट, है ना? Great. I can see good smiles in face of a chartered accountant. Now, yes. हरीश ने तो बैकग्राउंड बना लिया अपने नाम का. ये होता है एटीट्यूड. आई लव दिस यार, आई लव दिस, है ना? रियली गुड टू सी दिस, है ना? यस, परफेक्टली फाइन. बहुत सारे चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स कनेक्टेड हैं आज हमारे साथ. एक ग्रुप फोटो तो आज मैं लूंगा इन सभी के साथ यार. एक ग्रुप फोटो मैं लूंगा एंड ऑफ द सेशन में, याद दिलाना जरूर मुझसे. ठीक है, नाउ मूविंग टू द नेक्स्ट पार्ट. यस, इंटरनल ऑडिट डन. इसको करते हैं हम लोग बंद. नेक्स्ट जाते हैं सॉक्स और आईएफसी साइड. मेनी ऑफ यू मस्ट बी अवेयर ऑफ सॉक्स इज मोस्टली अप्लीकेबल फॉर, एनी आइडिया? किसी को याद पता है? देखते हैं किसको पता है. सॉक्स इज मोस्टली अप्लीकेबल फॉर डैश. ओ माय गॉड, यूएस कंपनीज. परफेक्टली फाइन. ये ऑडिट के टॉपर हमको मिल गए. ऑडिट के टॉपर हमारे लेक्चर में बैठे हुए हैं अभी. ठीक है, तो सॉक्स जनरली यूएस कंपनीज के लिए एप्लीकेबल होगा. अब मेनली क्या होता है आईएफसी साइड, इफ यू आर गोइंग टू बी प्लॉटिंग, विल बी वर्किंग टुवर्ड्स आईसीएफआर, ऑपरेशनल कंट्रोल एंड फ्रॉड प्रिवेंशन. ठीक है, तो दैट इज समथिंग विच यू आर वर्किंग ऑन. SOP formulation में भी lot of companies or lot of big fours might put you कि say for example कि Flipkart is launching its hospital. Now what are the SOP or what are the controls which you feel like the Flipkart should set? Standard operating procedures क्या होनी चाहिए? ठीक है, तो इसके लिए भी lot of payments the big fours get, a lot of clients which companies get, and that is something which you should be you can be a part of. And a lot of other solutions which can be offered under the risk advisory services. Either it can be related to some physical verification or something related to the consultancy, you know, which is purely related to internal audit, which is there. So internal audit, the first one which I was referring to, it's also include your forensics part. Okay, it's an advanced version of internal audit which is more inclined towards a fraud detection and fraud identification. Okay, so this is the risk advisory side which you can be a part of. Next, I'll take the strategy and transaction at the end. Moving to the next, which is a taxation. बहुत बड़ा है ये भी. Okay. Now taxation is again divided into a lot of things, right? DT, transaction, international tax and transfer pricing, and IDT. Okay. Now DT में भी lot of services the companies have started offering. Oh my God. इतनी सारी स्ट्रीम कहाँ से क्या क्या खोल दिया है बिग फोर ने, हमें अभी समझ में आ रहा है. फर्स्ट इज अ GMS. व्हाट इज GMS? मींस ग्लोबल मोबिलिटी सर्विसेज. व्हाट इज ग्लोबल मोबिलिटी सर्विसेज? मींस you will be working on some of the foreign clients where you will be responsible for their taxation and you will be filing some of the returns and compliances. उन सबका देखोगे. Okay. Second is the financial services. I hope you remember the FS, right? Bankings और इसका आप कर रहे थे mutual fund houses. Right, you will be responsible for the advisory or litigation and all this for the FS clients. Okay, third is a CIT, corp tax, जिसको हम बोलते हैं, and fourth is a M&A tax. अगर if any M&A deals are going to be there, so you will be responsible for the M&A tax part. Next is a transaction tax, so again which is there. So mainly this is again very good area if you want to get into. So tax professionals advise companies and private equity investors on all the tax which is related to very specific transaction. ठीक है, तो just giving an example, say for example अगर कोई ऐसा transaction हुआ है जहां पे आपको advisory देना है in India, so that is something which is there. But if it is an international level, so it might move to your international tax and transfer pricing. अगर कोई चीज international level पे कर रहे हो, तो that's gonna be moving to your international taxation and transfer pricing. मेरे को ऐसे गुस्से से ना देखो, मुझे पता है आपको डीटी नहीं पसंद है, तो ऐसे ना देखो यार, आपका ना डीटी का गुस्सा मेरे पे ना निकालो. ठीक है, जिन्हें नहीं पसंद, ठीक है, आप एटलीस्ट ओवरव्यू तो लो कि दिस इज समथिंग व्हिच इज देयर व्हिच पीपल आर वर्किंग इन अ टैक्सेशन फील्ड. नाउ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, व्हाट आर द सर्विसेज व्हिच आर गोना बी ऑफर्ड इन अ टैक्सेशन फील्ड? काम क्या करोगे? लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड दिस. इफ यू आर गोना बी जॉइनिंग एनी ऑफ द टैक्सेशन फील्ड, राइट, व्हिच इज देयर, you will be more mainly inclined in a combination of those four. Either it can be zero of tax planning, zero of compliance, zero of accounting, only you will be consulting, or you can be a tax planning, tax compliances, tax accounting, and this. Now, what does tax planning means? People are aware of, which is chartered accountants are well known for this, right? Tax compliances is again आपको monthly return, GST return, right? आपको फोन आएगा, भैया हमारा रिटर्न फाइल कर दो, right? So that is something a compliance part which you are supposed to be. Accounting is something like कि monthly कुछ transactions होते हैं for which you give some of the database to the companies, right? कि ठीक है, इतने का आप accounting entry ले लो based on the sale which is there, और इतने का आप TDS provision बना लो, तो that is what is something related to tax accounting. And consulting is something like, again, similar way, Flipkart was setting a hospital for in India. It want a consultation that how it can save a taxation. Hello, a lot of companies have started saving the taxation by opening up the hospitals. I don't know how, but there is some of the subsidies and government policies which are there, right? So which is something which you can be a part of if you are going to the consultation side of the same. Okay. IDT may again similarly you can be part either of a pure GST, or you can be part of a customs, or you can be part of the FTP which is there. Okay. The IDT means not only GST, it includes your customs and FTP as well. Okay, so this is the major part which you can be working into a direct taxation. Okay, now I'll take a 2 minutes of a pause. Let's take a deep breath. And let's digest all this. Okay, because I know that बहुत ज़्यादा कुछ लोग को नया मिल रहा है, तो they are like, इतना सारा काम करते हैं, मेरे को तो स्टैट ऑडिट के लिए फोन आया था, मेरी HR ने तो कुछ बोला नहीं है मेरे को, right? So now what we are trying to do, guys, is please understand, we are trying to create an awareness in front of you कि भाई ये भी option available है. If you know the options, you can easily choose. You will not regret in the future. Okay. Now I'll ask you guys one simple question. Up till now, how many new domains you have understood? मतलब up till now, how many new areas which you have got कि हाँ भाई ये भी मुझे कुछ नया मिला, right? If you have learned one, then you can say one. If you can learn lot, you can say lot. If you have learned 4-5, you can say 4-5. I wanted to see कि आपको कुछ 2-3 नए domains के बारे में पता चला कि नहीं. I am just checking that कि मेरा जो 2 घंटे का मेहनत था before the session, right? मतलब it's not the 2 hours effort, it's efforts for the 2.5 years which I am putting, है ना? But again, just to summarize all the thoughts talking to people, that is something which I am trying to understand, right? Now, very important part, which again I want to highlight before I move to the 2-3 domains which are there, and that is something is a SAMBHAV program. I don't know how many of you are aware of this. It's a placement drive for you guys, right? I'll request every one of you to please register ASAP, because a lot of companies are doing a placement program with CMONC, right? That's a good thing. And a lot of companies are doing exclusive placement program with CMONC. That is a super cool thing, right? Because उन्हें कहीं नहीं जाना. They are saying कि हाँ हम CMONC से hiring करेंगे because we trust in CMONC candidates, and you can see a lot of hiring partners are there which are working with us. Okay, so every day 2-3 hiring partners there, and again you can see some of the good companies coming, right? RI. Oh my god. Yes, you can see the scroller coming in. A lot of good companies have started hiring with CMONC. So I'll request you to please register yourself ASAP if you're completed with your resume and your preparations and stuff. Second important update, which I just wanted to give you, please go and check our events page. Lot of events have been planned. Anand Rathi ka pre-placement talk hai. Those who are interested towards equity side or all this. So I'll put details for what all roles they are coming. There is a pre-placement talks by a lot of companies. So I'll request you to please register ASAP before the seats are full. Okay. The link is mentorship.samong.com/events. I'll also share the link in a chat box. Okay, मैं chat box पे भी link डाल देता हूँ. Please do not forget to register for this. Yes, so I've shared the link in a chat box. For SAMBHAV, I've shared a link for the mentorship event. Yes. Next. Moving to the next thing out, which is the last update. Our next batch for training workshop is starting from tomorrow. You can visit the GR page. Very simple. Go to cmong.com. Placements, live workshop. Once you go to live workshop, you can scroll it down. 2 batches are ahead. 25th batch is starting from 20th July, which is tomorrow. 7 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. रहेगा. And 26th batch जो morning batch है जिसको सुबह आना है, right? Those who have office in the evening will not be able to join, can join our 25th batch. Detail curriculum यहाँ पे डला हुआ है. I've already told in a lot of videos. I'll not repeat it. If you need any of the help, you can definitely reach out to our support team. They'll be happy to help you out. ठीक है, फटाफट इसके लिए भी आप रजिस्टर कर लो. संभव एंड प्री प्लेसमेंट टॉप के लिए तो आपको आना ही है. अगर जीआर के लिए इफ यू नीड एनी ऑफ द हेल्प एंड इफ यू फील लाइक यू वांट टू ब्रिज अ गैप फॉर योर इंटरव्यू प्रिपरेशंस, यू कैन डेफिनेटली रजिस्टर फॉर आवर ट्रेनिंग वर्कशॉप. ठीक है, so that is something which I want to update you guys. Now moving to the upcoming things. Yes. आगे बढ़ते हैं. I am experienced CA need one-on-one consultation. One-on-one consultation भी आपको मिलेगा GR में, आप टेंशन मत लो. वहां पे आपको मेंटर्स मिलेंगे तो वो आपको गाइड भी करेंगे हर एक आपको डोमेन के बारे में, right, which is there. Now coming to the consultation services. कंसल्टेंसी में भी एक और स्कोप है विच लॉट ऑफ बिग फोर ऑफर्स अ लॉट ऑफ कंसल्टेंसी सर्विसेज टू यू फोक्स. है ना, काफी लोगों को नहीं पता होता कि बिग फोर भी कंसल्टिंग देता है. बिग फोर ऑल्सो ऑफर्स अ कंसल्टिंग सर्विसेज, राइट? विच ऑल एरियाज दे विल बी गिविंग अ कंसल्टिंग सर्विसेज, दिस इज देयर. प्लस इसके अलावा देयर इज अगेन अ सेपरेट कंसल्टिंग डिपार्टमेंट विच इज देयर. So consulting towards a strategy and business design, consulting towards your understanding the new processes, consulting towards your M&A deals. इसमें कंपटीशन इज टफ. दिस इज अ नीश प्रोफाइल. कंपटीशन इज टफ. मिल गया तो यू कैन अगेन गो फॉर इट प्रोवाइडेड you are able to crack the interviews out, because here you need to prepare yourself very well. Okay, and the work wise you're going to be enjoying this because that is something which is there. तो कंसल्टिंग में जिसको इंटरेस्ट है वो इसमें जा सकता है कंसल्टिंग एरिया में, बट द वैकेंसी इज लेस. दैट इज समथिंग व्हिच इज अ डाउनसाइड. नेक्स्ट, कमिंग टू द ड्यू डिलिजेंस. Now, many people feel like, sir, due diligence is only FDD. No, there are a hell lot of type of due diligence which you can see in front of a screen. What does due diligence means? Let's understand. Now, due diligence is something like you are gonna be checking the health or the financial health of a company. In short, अगर मैं बोलूँ तो. Now, there are multiple types of due diligence which can be there, but mostly CAs are gonna be hired for a FDD. Okay, mostly CAs are gonna be hired for the FDD, financial due diligence के लिए. Okay, IT due diligence भी हो सकता है. I think you are not good at IT part. है ना, आपको कितने को कोडिंग आता है? No one, मतलब very less people knows coding in Python and R, right? है ना, तो mostly you're going to be hired for a financial due diligence. And in this also there are mainly two sides, which is a buy side and a sell side. अभी मैं buy side और sell side पे ज्यादा नहीं जाऊंगा, because once we'll have a session for IB and FDD, we'll cover this in very detail, but I'm just giving you a hint. And I think I've also covered the buy side and sell side in my previous sessions. So you can again check my previous sessions out where I've explained you what is buy side and what is sell side. Okay. So FDD is again something good which you can again target for. And strategy and transaction side is something which is there, but again it's a very niche profile जहाँ पे ज़्यादा CS को hire नहीं किया जाता. But again, you should have a good reference, good resume, and good preparation for interview if you want to beat the niche profiles out. Now, to just summarize the entire thing which I have covered. Point number one, you might get some of the positions in statutory audit. If you get a position in statutory audit, what I refer to you is that check the area we are going to be working into. Second, if you're going to be going to risk advisory or business consulting, you're supposed to see that for which area you're going to be working into. Okay. Third, or taxation part, a lot of areas are there which is available for a taxation. You can see that, and you can also fight for the areas or the domains which you are interested towards. Fourth, consulting, if you're going, you can see that which all areas they will be hiring you out, but here you need an advanced level of preparation. थोड़ा अच्छे से आपको prepare करना पड़ेगा. Fifth, if you're going to be part of a due diligence, this is something where you will be working on either on a buy side or sell side, which is there. Okay. And next, strategy and transaction side, which I've already covered. Now, coming to the next and very interesting question. Sir, this is okay. I got this out. Can you tell me what will be the package offered in a Big Four? Can you tell me what will be the package offered in a Big Four? Right? Now, the package mostly, I've divided the Big Four into the two parts, Indian and global. Right? So this applies for both. The service departments applies for Indian and global as well. उसमें कोई difference नहीं है. But the difference between an Indian and global firm is that Indian firm you'll be mostly working on Indian clients, and global firms you'll be working mostly on a global clients. Okay. Indian firms रहेगा तो you'll be visiting a client places. In a global firms you'll be connecting them with a Zoom call or video call. That is there, right? That is a major difference. Next, so package wise, what is the difference? Again, dividing into two, Indian firms versus global firms out. Indian firms का range is 7 to 15 lakh. And again, global firms का approximately 8 to 15 lakh. Global firms थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा देता है as compared to the Indian firms out. That is there. Sir, but कौन से department में कितना package मिलेगा? I'll not tell this out because I do not want to create a biasness and the fight with the company's HR कि आपने मेरी company का package ज़्यादा बोला या कम बोला, है ना? Because since I being into recruitment space also, तो मैं ये नहीं कर सकता. But I give you the overall range which mostly you'll be getting around. Now this is what I was referring to as a fixed range. Now the salary is again divided into two parts. One is a fixed salary and second is a variable salary. Okay. So I was referring to a fixed part. Variable is purely based on the performance and the work you do. Okay. Now, question comes as कि sir, यहाँ तक के तो ठीक है. Big Four जाना था. Why I should go to Big Four? I got the reason that there are a lot of benefits to join the Big Four. There's a good network. There's a good communication skills. There is a good lot of trainings. There's a lot of personality grooming. A lot of parties will be there. I'll get a brand name in my CV. I'll update on all this, right? And I'll be in a touch of a subject what I have studied. That is the reason why I'm going to be joining a Big Four. I also got a clarity, sir, which all domain I'm supposed to work into, right? Sir, now the question comes is where to apply, how to apply, whom to apply. All right. So one of the program which I referred to you is a SAMBHAV program, right? SAMBHAV may you'll be able to see hell lot of companies are going to be coming. Almost every Big Four we are trying to work with, right? So most of the Big Fours are already a part of this. So you'll be your resumes are going to be shared with them. Next, sir, next question comes is I got all this. Sir, how will I prepare for this? I've told you, you can join our training workshop. Every damn thing which is needed for your interview preparations are going to be covered there. सर टेंशन आ रहा है कैसे प्रिपेयर करने का? टेंशन मेरे पे छोड़ दो, मैं आपको ये चीजें बताऊंगा तो आपको बस प्रिपेयर करना है, बाकी सब कुछ हो जाएगा. लीव ऑल द इंटरव्यू रिलेटेड प्रिपरेशंस टू मी इफ यू आर गोना बी जॉइनिंग अ ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम. वहां पे रिजॉल्व हो गया. सर, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. सर, व्हेन शुड आई सिट फॉर अ इंटरव्यू? दिस इज अ बिगेस्ट क्वेश्चन एंड मोस्ट ऑफ यू आर आस्किंग दिस क्वेश्चन मी अगेन एंड अगेन. सर आईसीआई कैंपस प्लेसमेंट्स तो लेट चालू होंगे, मैं क्या करूं? Should I start giving the interviews now, or should I wait for the companies, or should I wait for ICI campus placements? Everyone has this question. Now, the answer to this question, how many of you want the answer for this question, by the way? अगर सब yes लिखेंगे तो ही मैं बताऊंगा, नहीं तो मैं नहीं बताऊंगा. How many of you want the answer for this question? If you want the answer for this question, just write yes in the chat box. I've enabled the chat box. इसके लिए तो बरोबर यस आया है, एकदम यस आया. हाँ, दिल की बात छीन ली सर आपने, सब समझ रहा हूं मैं. Yes, put your hands down. Other, please put your hands down. Right. How many of you want a yes? I also waiting for a reply of a yes in a YouTube live chat. YouTube live chat में भी yes आएगा तो हम लिखेंगे, नहीं तो नहीं बताएंगे. और क्या, फटाफट yes लिख दो कि किस किस को इस जवाब का आंसर चाहिए कि भाई क्या करें सर. सबसे बड़ा कंफ्यूजन, सीए बनने के बाद ऐसा प्रेशर फील हो रहा है कि सर रोज एचआर का फोन आता है और व्हेन कैन आई एक्सपेक्ट योर रिज्यूम. आई डोंट नो सर, इतना मेरे को कभी लगा नहीं था कि मेरी हायरिंग के लिए लोग इतना पीछे पड़ेंगे. राइट नाउ, यस सर, यस सर, यश सिंह पहले बता दो सर, प्लीज बता दो सर, इसीलिए तो आया था मैं सेशन में. ओके ग्रेट. नाउ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इज दैट हियर यू नीड टू डिसाइड, you need to take a bold decision. Sir, what is the company which I am targeting for? Point number 1. Which all areas I am want to work into? Point number 2. Number 3, whether there is a entry barrier for this area or not. मैं hint दूंगा, मैं आंसर कभी नहीं देता हूं. ठीक है. Third is whether there is a entry barrier for this domain or industry or not. If the answer comes yes, then go for it. If the answer comes no, you can wait. Oh my God. ठीक है. Now, you need to also start preparing because you cannot miss out the good opportunities, and it's all about a competition. ठीक है. Because आप अप्लाई नहीं करोगे तो कोई और अप्लाई करेगा. That is there. And I feel like कि अगर आपको कोई अच्छा अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल रहा है and if you feel like कि भाई इस एरिया में मुझे काम करना है, चले जाओ. Sir, but what if I get a highest number of package later on? There's always a what if in a life, and trust me, you'll never get satisfied. Now, if I ask someone a question, what is the maximum salary you can expect? Someone will say, sir, the maximum salary which I will expect is, if I ask a Vinay a question, Vinay, कितना maximum salary आप expect कर रहे हो? है ना? Vinay will say, sir, I am expecting a salary around, what is the number, Vinay, please?
Sir, this can be infinite. I can say crores
Infinite,
also.
right? So suppose, say for example, he mentions 10 lakh rupees. Okay, just assume that he says 10 lakh rupees. Sir, this is something which I'm expecting. If I ask a Sanket a question, he say, I'll ask a Sanket, how much salary you're expecting? He'll say 12 lakh. Because Vinay said 10 lakh, तो मैं तो उससे ज्यादा ही लूंगा सर. And if I ask a third person, right, कि how much salary you're expecting? If I ask the same question to Mukuljeet is like, वो 12 ले रहा है तो मैं तो 15 लूंगा ना भाई. Right? And there's no barrier to this. मतलब ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि भाई कि आपको कभी सही आंसर मिलेगा इस चीज का. बट यू नीड टू डिसाइड अ कट ऑफ फॉर योरसेल्फ. पॉइंट नंबर 1, कि शिवम देखो कि दिस इज समथिंग व्हिच आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग एंड दिस इज व्हाट आई वांट एंड दिस इज व्हाट आई एम गेटिंग, एंड इफ आई गेट ऑल दिस पैरामीटर्स कंप्लीटेड, आई विल जॉइन द फर्म. बट इफ द पैरामीटर्स इज नॉट कंप्लीटेड, आई विल वेट एंड आई विल फाइट फॉर इट एंड आई विल डू व्हाटएवर इट टेक्स. आई विल डू व्हाटएवर इट टेक्स because you need to fight if you want to get into the best places of. Okay, now coming to the interview prep. Sir, I wanted to get into Big Four. That is very good. Since I am also part of a Big Four, I can tell you that is something good part which has helped me out where I am today. But yes, also remember that if you are going to be sitting for any of the interviews in a Big Four, they'll expect you that you are a good communicator. A basic communication skills is expected. Okay, a basic communication skills is expected. Sir, again, I need to work on my communication skills. The answer is yes. Sir, how I can improve that? Again, if you are part of GIR, everything is covered. I told you, leave all the preparation, interview related issues and preparation to me. I'll cover this in our workshop. That's not an issue. But I would like you to understand that if you are sitting for any of the interviews, sit with 100% of confidence and try to clear this out. Okay. Now, what we will do is that we'll open the forum for our audience. Right, we'll open a forum for our audience for a doubt session. I'll request you to put your doubts on a live chat on YouTube. Okay, so that I can start with the same. And after that is done, we'll open the doubts which are there on the Zoom chat as well. पहले YouTube से doubt set cover करते हैं, then we'll move to the YouTube Zoom chat. ठीक है, and the people those are connected from a Zoom, right, will have a group photo. Meanwhile, एक group photo ले लेते हैं तब तक के. Till the time people are putting their doubts, let's have a group photo. यार मुझे भी CS के साथ photo खिंचाना है यार, right? थोड़ा सा बाल वाल बना लेते हैं। ये आ जाओ फटाफट आ जाओ, राइट? लेट्स हैव अ ग्रुप फोटो गाइस, कम ऑन कम ऑन कम ऑन, लेट्स हैव अ वेरी गुड ग्रुप फोटो। मीनवाइल पीपल आर पुटिंग देयर डाउट्स ऑन अ YouTube live chat box. Let's have a group photo. I want to see the chartered accountants. I want to see all my chartered accountants. Right? On a count of one, you are supposed to say chapati at allowed. Request every one of you to please turn on the videos. Fatafat. I think more than 180 people are connected here. Right? So fatafat, let's turn on the videos. On a count of one, chapati, you can unmute yourself. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Chapati.
Chapati.
Great.
Chapati.
चपाती। अच्छा, कुछ लोग ने वीडियो ऑन नहीं किया, पता नहीं क्यों, उन्हें चपाती पसंद नहीं था इसलिए, बट ठीक है।
चपाती तो सर बहुत पसंद है।
बहुत पसंद है आपको चपाती? अच्छा चलो संदीप, आपको चपाती पसंद है कि चपाती पसंद है कि चपाती बनाने वाली पसंद है?
नहीं सीएम मोंग वाली चपाती पसंद है।
अच्छा, सीएम मोंग वाली चपाती पसंद है, ठीक है, चलो ग्रेट, हैप्पी टू हियर दिस आउट। Yes, let's open the forum for our doubts so that we can resolve the doubts ASAP. Sir, first doubt. I got a call from one of the big four and it is regarding the IDT domain just day before results, but did not receive any mail. Again, you need to connect to HR. मुझे नहीं पता क्यों उन्होंने कॉल बैक नहीं किया, ठीक है, रॉन्ग क्वेश्चन, बट ठीक है। Sir, is it good to join a SAP FICO consultant after CA? Again, if you're interested towards a technology side, you can join it. If not, then you need to think. सर कैन यू प्रोवाइड मोर डिटेल्स ऑन अ फॉरेंसिक ऑडिटिंग? फॉरेंसिक ऑडिटिंग पे हमारा एक और डिटेल सेशन होगा, अभी मैं हर एक डोमेन वाइज एक सेशन प्लान कर रहा हूं, तो दैट इज समथिंग व्हिच आई ट्राई टू डू। टिल व्हिच डेट आई कैन एक्सपेक्ट अ ईमेल, है ना? तो प्रोवाइडेड यू अपलोड दिस, राइट? आप एक बार सीवी अपलोड करोगे, आपका रेज्यूम फिर अगर शॉर्टलिस्ट होता है तो आपको कॉल आएगा, नहीं होता है तो अगेन आई रिक्वेस्ट यू टू प्लीज एंश्योर दैट योर रेज्यूम इज अप टू द मार्क। नेक्स्ट, if the company offer me any location but my preference is another location, what should I mention during the interview? Right, so initially whenever you're sitting for an interview, first ask an HR ki bhaiya for which location you're conducting a drive, okay, and after that is done, you are supposed to sit for an interview. तो जब भी आप किसी भी ड्राइव के लिए बैठ रहे हो इन एनी ऑफ द कंपनीज आउट, रिक्वेस्ट टू प्लीज गेट अ लोकेशन क्लैरिटी फर्स्ट, देन सेट फॉर अ ड्राइव। ओके, नेक्स्ट, बिजनेस यूनिट एंड लीगल एंटिटी कंट्रोलर रोल वर्सेस बिग फोर एंड ऑफशोर, व्हिच इज अ बेस्ट? अगेन देखो, बेस्ट आपको डिसाइड करना है, आई विल नॉट कमिट कि कौन सा बेस्ट है, आई विल से ऑल ऑफ देम आर गुड, बट अगेन समथिंग व्हिच यू आर सपोज्ड टू अंडरस्टैंड। Okay, sir, I have cleared my group 1 only. There are any opportunities? Yes, some of the semi qualified के लिए jobs opportunities हैं। Sir, any discount coupon for GI25? The answer is no. Don't worry, आज बार कोई भी कूपन कोड नहीं है, राइट? ऑलरेडी डिस्काउंट प्राइस पे है, तो कोई कूपन कोड नहीं है, सो सॉरी। पैकेज एट फॉरेंसिक्स ऑडिट, आई हैव गिवन यू द रेंज। महेश, आप ये देख सकते हो। कैन यू प्लीज एलेबरेट ऑन अ फाइनेंस डोमेन? फाइनेंस डोमेन पे हमारा कल का एक परसों का सेशन देखो, डोमेन वाइज गाइडेंस पे, उसमें मैंने बहुत डिटेल में कवर किया है उसको। What is the disadvantage of a gap in 2 years of articleship and CA clearing period? तो वहां पे आपको एक स्टोरी लाइन बनाना पड़ेगा, which is there, and something which I will request you to create a good storyline कि क्यों गैप था, and you should be able to justify that duration. Sir, I've completed CA in December 21. Can I also join the interview program? The answer is yes, आप join कर सकते हो, right? संभव आप join कर सकते हो। I have cleared a CA with want to prepare for interview from zero. हाँ, अरे zero से ही prepare करेंगे GR में, टेंशन मत लो। All the knowledge of a campus and all improve communication skill. Does GR and 25 will be beneficial? The answer is right. Yes. Can I attend the Big Four on campus and off campus? The answer is yes. Sir, if my goal is to practice and freelancing after few years, तो प्रैक्टिस के लिए मैंने ऑलरेडी बताया था कि आपको पहले डिसाइड करना है कि ब्रांड नेम चाहिए कि नहीं, तो आई रिक्वेस्ट यू टू प्लीज चेक माय डोमेन वाला सेशन, यस्टरडे वाला, मैंने बहुत डिटेल में उसको कवर किया है, ठीक है। इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंकिंग का एक अलग से नमन हमारा एक सेशन होगा, तो व्हिच इज देयर। योगेश इज रेज्यूम टू बी हैव अ 1 पेजर नेसेसरी, आइडियली रिकमेंडेड है कि 1 पेजर रहे, ठीक है। सर, इट इज पॉसिबल टू जॉइन TRAS and later on switch to other areas? The answer is yes. Semi qualified opportunities, please elaborate. एक बार संभव भर दो, वहां पे आपको मिल जाएंगे opportunities आएंगी तो। Whether finance profile matters the number of attempts? Again यार, I'll not speak much on attempts because कुछ कंपनी का होता है, कुछ कंपनी का नहीं होता है, but that doesn't matter. आपको ये देखना है कि मैं अपना बेस्ट दूं, जो होगा देखा जाएगा, ठीक है। That is something which you should be having out. Sir, how much time generally takes for a Big Four HR depending on type of resume you made, type of profile you are sending out, उस पर depend करता है। I've cleared my CA foundation in first attempt and enter in November 22. And if I clear both groups in first attempt, will I get an internship in Big Four? आपको देखो इंटरव्यू क्रैक करना पड़ेगा अगर इंटरव्यू चाहिए तो। What if someone refers me in one location and want to change the location? So you can talk to an HR initially. Okay. Sir, how much impact English speaking is in interviews? It makes a huge impact. Next, let's see the chat box of a Zoom. Let's move to the Zoom doubts. Sir, okay. Assume if I apply for an internal audit domain and rejected by one of the big four, and if I apply again in a stat audit, so yes, generally वो database में अगर आपका नाम चढ़ गया तो आपका फिर 6 months का ये gap लगेगा. ठीक है. Now if we selected and we accept the offer letter and how to put it on hold, ऐसे सवाल ना पूछो मुझसे. ठीक है. How to put it on hold, again you need to tell them कि why you're putting them on hold. That's it. If we apply for 25th batch and if I will get a guidance on placements as it will also start from 25th July, the answer is yes. सर वो चीज के लिए आपको हेल्प करेंगे अनमोल, तो आप टेंशन ना लो. Do GIR students have to fill SAMBHAV form? No, GIR के लिए आपका अलग से प्लेसमेंट है, तो उसके लिए आप टेंशन मत लो. वहां पे आपने भर दिया तो आपको दिक्कत नहीं है, SAMBHAV भरने का जरूरत नहीं है. Sir, I have multiple attempts and I have heard that Big Four don't hire more than 3 attempts. नहीं, hire करते हैं depending on type of resume you are making and type of experience you carry. What to reply when asked about expected salary range? Please send. इसका मैं एक negotiation पे session लेता हूँ, right? तो इस पे बहुत डिटेल में आपको पहले समझना पड़ेगा कि कैसे आंसर करना है. But इसके लिए you are supposed to do a research that what range the company is offering to the candidates in the past. 25th July, I get a guidance, sir. Sir, GIR on 25th July. 25th July वाली मॉर्निंग बैच, आप टेंशन ना लो, कंफ्यूज ना हो. सर, इंडेक्स एडवाइजरी वर्क कौन से डोमेन में आएगा? हाँ, तो वो भी एश्योरेंस के अंदर आएगा. इसको अलग अलग नाम से बुलाया जाता है, CFO एडवाइजरी और समवॉट कॉल्ड एज अ फेस, राइट? अलग अलग नाम से बुलाया जाता है. Placements also starting from, so placement have been already started, right? Don't worry about the same. Sir, what should be theoretical preparation for a direct tax? अच्छा, अरे यार इस पे एक अलग से सेशन होगा direct tax पे, so that is there. Till now I have not prepared the resume and I am part of a training workshop. Don't worry, कल तक के आपका resume complete हो जाएगा. What to do if my articleship is from a small firm? It's completely fine. You just need to ensure and highlight the work which you have done in your articleship properly. That is something which is there, and also try to solve some of the live assignments. ठीक है, तो इसलिए हमने कैपस्टोन भी लॉन्च किया है, तो दैट इज समथिंग व्हिच यू कैन ट्राई फॉर. सर, इफ वी आर नॉट श्योर अबाउट द वर्क प्रोफाइल, हाउ टू फाइंड इट आउट, है ना? तो आप मेरे से कनेक्टेड रहो, हमारे बहुत सारे सेशन हो रहे हैं, उससे आपको क्लैरिटी मिल जाएगा. इफ आई रजिस्टर टुडे इटसेल्फ फॉर द बैच, विल आई बी एबल टू ज्वाइन द डे वन? अरे हाँ, कल से बैच है तो आ सकते हो, बिल्कुल कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. सर, आई हैव वन डाउट, आई हैव नॉट एबल टू एक्सपीरियंस इन इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंकिंग बट वांट टू ज्वाइन इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंकिंग. इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंकिंग पे एक अलग से सेशन लेंगे. सर, हाउ टू काउंटर अटेम्प्ट? ICI बोलता है काउंट द नंबर ऑफ एलिजिबल अटेम्प्ट्स. व्हाट डज एलिजिबल अटेम्प्ट्स मींस? जब से आपका CFNL ड्यू हो गया तब से आपको अटेम्प्ट काउंट करना है. नाउ अगेन अ क्वेश्चन कम्स इज कि सर मैंने फॉर्म नहीं भरा तो वो एलिजिबल अटेम्प्ट है कि नहीं? ठीक है, ICI बोलता है हाँ, बट आप बोलते हो ना, मुझे नहीं पता. बट दैट इज समथिंग व्हिच इज देयर, राइट? बट इफ यू हैव नॉट फिल्ड द फॉर्म आउट, तो यू नीड टू अगेन टॉक टू ICI. अगर एक बार आप बात करो जब कैंपस ओपन होगा तो अब आप एक बार बात कर सकते हो कि कैसे अटेम्प्ट काउंट करते हैं, और इस पे मैं एक सेशन ले लूंगा कि एक वीडियो बनाऊंगा. बट अगेन ये बहुत ज्यादा रिस्की है यार, मतलब if I say less then ICI will kill me, if I say more then student will kill me. क्योंकि student always wants a count in number of less and ICI will say let's go with the eligible attempt वाला criteria. So that is there. Is joining a offshore good for a starting career? Again, you need to decide based on the pros and cons which I've mentioned, and then you're supposed to go into this. In ICI campus, can we select the domain? No. In ICI campus, companies shortlist to you, then you give a confirmation to companies. Okay? So that is there. What are the opportunities for CS and LLB? आपको litigation side अगर जाना है तो अच्छा opportunities मिल जाएगा. When will be the CTC disclosed in ICI campus? The time the company shortlist you. Okay. Will the vacancies get exhausted till the ICI campus? Few domains की yes, few domains की no. अब वो नहीं पता. अगर आपके दोस्त भाइयों ने जॉब ले लिया तो हो जाएगी, नहीं लिया तो नहीं होगी. सिंपल सा आंसर है. मतलब it's no one knows this, right? इसका कोई सही आंसर नहीं है. If I get rejected at one location, then can we apply for another location? Ideally, again depend करता है कि आप कौन सी कंपनीज में अप्लाई कर रहे हो. बिग फोर में होता है तो अगेन उनका ट्रैक रहता है मोस्टली, तो आपको फिर they'll say that कि already rejected at one location, तो थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट रहेगा. If I wish to apply for 26 batch, then how will I get the guidance? Don't worry. Similarly, हमारे सेशंस होंगे सुबह, तो कोई उसका टेंशन मत लो, आप रजिस्टर कर लो, आपको पूरे अपडेट्स हमारे ग्रुप पे आते जाएंगे, आपको मेल आते जाएगा हर वो सेशन का, तो डोंट वरी अबाउट द सेम. I will not be able to give my FA final exam in December 21 due to some of the issues. In May cleared both the groups, so should I write 1 or 2? Again, attempts का मैंने बता दिया है, which you are supposed to understand. 26 बैच का डेट है आपका 25th. ओके मॉर्निंग बैच है सर. आई हैव 4 years of pre-qualification experience in finance domain. Now I want to do a stat audit. Yes, you can easily go, and you just need to present your things in your resume in a proper manner. Sir, I have heard that HR do not consider referral candidate as it increases the CTC. नहीं, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है योगेश, बिल्कुल गलत सुना है आपने. राइट अगर ऐसा होता तो लिंक्डइन पे आपको इतने सारे पोस्ट नहीं दिखते आज. कभी लिंक्डइन खोल लेना और देखना कि सब मांग रहे हैं, दे दो भाई, दे दो सीवी दे दो. राइट, तो दैट इज समथिंग व्हिच इज देयर. कभी देख लेना अच्छे से, आपको वही दिखेगा लिंक्डइन में, है ना. तो दैट इज देयर. टुडेज सेशन एट 9 PM इज स्टिल ऑन. द आंसर इज यस. 9 PM को हमारा एक सेशन है, वो है इंटरनल सेशन है, तो दैट इज देयर. जॉब ऑफशोर, यस 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 कवर्ड. I'm looking for some of the new questions. A lot of them are repeated questions. कोई नए क्वेश्चन है जो बच गए हैं. I have worked in internal audit, but I also want to join an international audit. How to deal with the same? Domain specific हमारे जब सेशंस होंगे तो उसमें कवर करेंगे यार. अभी any specific related to the big fours, so that is there. Is MBB requires rank? Again, depend on their shortlisting, but they have mentioned their shortlisting parameter which is there. ठीक है, तो डोंट वरी, अभी अप्लाई कर दो, इतना मत सोचो, है ना. अप्लाई कर दो. एमबीबी का, हाँ, नाउ इंपॉर्टेंट अपडेट, एमबीबी का भी ओपनिंग डला हुआ है टेलीग्राम ग्रुप में. दोस हैव नॉट जॉइन्ड अ टेलीग्राम ग्रुप May 22 CA, प्लीज जॉइन इट ASAP बिकॉज़ लॉट ऑफ ओपनिंग्स वी आर गोना बी पोस्टिंग फ्रॉम टुमारो एंड डे आफ्टर टुमारो. ठीक है. नाउ लास्ट 2-3 क्वेश्चंस. यू टोल्ड समथिंग अबाउट एंट्री बैरियर्स, कैन यू प्लीज इलैबोरेट? सो कुछ कंपनीज में एंट्री बैरियर्स होते हैं बिकॉज ऑफ सम ऑफ द पैरामीटर्स एंड फिल्टरिंग, बट व्हाट आई मेंशन वाज दैट यू कैन आल्सो फॉलो वाया रूट. either find out some references or ask someone to refer your CV out, or you can also move to the company after 2 years, 3 years. That is something which I was referring to. If articleship experience is not good, don't worry, you can solve our capstone project. If you are part of GR, you will be given a capstone project. Sir, what if my transfer case will not have a negative impact? Don't worry, you need to create a good storyline. That is something which you are supposed to understand. Got it. Last 2-3 questions. SAMBHAV portal is showing error in alternative mobile number. What to do? I'll just check with my team and get it sorted. Okay, so that is there. Anything which you will tell me out for interview preparation? देखो, interview preparation practice से ही होगा. आप चाहे किताब पढ़ो और YouTube वीडियो देखो, उससे कुछ नहीं होता. मैं सही बता रहा हूँ. You need to practice it. अगर आपको बोलते नहीं आता how to introduce yourself, रट के थोड़ी जाओगे how to introduce yourself. My name is Shivam Palan. I am from EY. I am from Gondi. ऐसा नहीं कर सकते ना. You cannot do a rectification for this. You need to do a practice, and practice is going to be done in a session that I have mentioned. Yes, give a link for a Telegram group. May 22 CA के नाम से आप एक बार सर्च करो, right? अगर मैं एक बार लिंक भी शेयर कर देता हूँ in a chat box, so that those who have not joined a Telegram group can join the Telegram group, which is related to updates for the jobs of chartered accountants. Got it. Great. I have put the link in a chat box for the people, those who have connected. I'll request you to please join this this Telegram group. All the important updates related to jobs and this are gonna be shared here. Okay. Great. Now I hope everyone has enjoyed the session, right? I would also like you to drop the feedback of the session, right? I have not registered for the SAMBHAV. नहीं, तो SAMBHAV में आपको क्या करना है कि जो अंदर एक गूगल फॉर्म है वो आपको फिल करना है, गाइस. प्लीज डू अंडरस्टैंड. संभव में आपको बहुत सारी चीजें हम कंटेंट डाल रहे हैं, बट अंदर उसको यू विल गेट वन गूगल फॉर्म. दैट इज समथिंग व्हिच यू आर सपोज्ड टू फिल, है ना. तो रिक्वेस्ट यू टू प्लीज फिल द गूगल फॉर्म व्हिच इज देयर इनसाइड द संभव, राइट. So great. I think we tried to cover almost everything related to Big Four. Not almost everything, but most of the thing which is important for the interview prep and to understand that how the Big Fours work, what is the process, right? I just want you to give a small feedback कि सर मजा आया कि नहीं, सर मजा आ भी गयो कि नहीं आ भी गयो, बताओ यार. If you have enjoyed the session, just write enjoyed in a chat box, and you can also unmute to give me a feedback. मैं सुन भी लूंगा यार, मजा आया तो बोल दो unmute करके, अगर मजा आया तो यार मैं भी थोड़े से खुशी मना लूं, राइट. जीआर की रिकॉर्डेड क्लासेस मिलेगी कि नहीं? हाँ मिलेगी. यस, टेंशन ना लो. यस, मजा आ गया. यस, थैंक यू. ग्रेट गाइस, है ना. थैंक्स फॉर जॉइनिंग इन. आई होप यू विल स्टार्ट वर्किंग ऑन द सेम. विल कैच अप.
इंडीड इंफॉर्मेटिव सेशन है.
हम तो सर है ना लास्ट 1 मंथ से एंजॉय कर रहे हैं सर.
1 मंथ से एंजॉय कर रहे हो तुम. हमारे पुराने स्टूडेंट हो. हाँ
हाँ,
केवल हमारा पुराना दोस्त है। यस, लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड फॉर
सर
द
आपको
टुमारो।
सर लास्ट तक नहीं छोड़ेंगे सर।
अरे मैं
हाँ,
नहीं
business
छोड़ूंगा
ऐसे
आपको,
लोगे-
जब तक आपका ड्रीम जॉब में प्लेसमेंट नहीं होगा और जब तक
Yes,
आप मेरे को
sir.
मिठाई नहीं खिलाओगे तब तक मैं पीछा नहीं छोड़ता।
Yes,
अरे
yes,
सर
sir,
गोंदिया आने
बिल्कुल।
वाले हम तो सब मिलके हमने प्लान कर
बिल्कुल।
लिया
गोंदिया
है।
वहां पे सर गा पाएंगे आपके आके।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, हम आपको तब तक नहीं छोड़ेंगे जब तक आप प्लेस नहीं हो जाते, तो आप
सर
टेंशन
हमारी
Yes, sir.
हमारी नाव आपके हाथों में है, प्लेसमेंट
हाँ
करवाएंगे।
यस,
सही
आप
बात
टेंशन
है।
ना लो और टेंशन ना लो। सर
सर
कहने
नारा
रजत
बोल
ने
के
टुमारो
अपना
को दिया यार। यस
100% प्लेसमेंट, 100% प्लेसमेंट नारा अपना
करवा के रहेंगे भाई, संभव है,
बिल्कुल,
सब
वहां के
बिल्कुल।
रहेंगे
संभव
सर।
है,
सर 9 बजे कौन सा
संभव
सेशन है?
है, संभव है,
सब कुछ
सब
संभव
कुछ
है सर।
संभव है, इसलिए तो नाम हमने रखा है संभव, राइट। सो
उसी
ग्रेट
मॉन्क है
गाइस,
तो संभव है।
संभव है, सीएम है तो संभव है। अभी इसका हम गाना भी बनाएंगे। अब
सर
देखो
रात
गाना
को 9 बजे कौन सा सेशन है?
9 बजे JR20 हमारी जो नई बैच आ रही है उनका एक ऑनबोर्डिंग सेशन है, ठीक है, आइस ब्रेक। यस
सर हम लोग ये अटेंड नहीं कर सकते क्या?
तो अपने को आना है क्या?
भाई आ जाओ,
केवल
परिवार
भाई
वाले
आ जाते हैं।
9 बजे मिलते हैं। यस चलो ग्रेट गाइस, थैंक
सर
यू
हमें
फॉर
आना वहाँ
ज्वाइनिंग,
पे,
लिंक आएगी
अरे
उसकी?
केवल
थैंक यू
अपने को आना
गाइस।
है